Congrats! You've made it to part 3 of the TRU Study Abroad information session. Discover your next steps in the application process and stick around for a mandatory survey that confirms you've watched all 3 parts of the info session. Hey everyone, my name's Jordy. I study political science and economics at TRU, and this is me studying abroad in France. I studied in a town called Rennes near the west coast, and this was my favorite street to walk down. This was the host university, also known as Sciences Po, and there I am super happy to get my diploma. I got my diploma of political studies while also earning credits towards TRU courses. I was in an international student program where I met all of these lovely people. I did lots of fun traveling to places like Mont Saint-Michel, Morocco with my camel friend Tagine, and the Colosseum in Rome.
So this is a timeline of when you can or when you should go abroad. I want to first point out that you can choose field schools or short-term summer programs at any point in your degree. And if you're not concerned about delaying your graduation, this timeline does not have that much importance unless you are in nursing. You must be studying abroad in your 7th semester, and you also need to have a cumulative GPA before you go abroad. So this is why you see a lot of students go abroad in their 2nd and 3rd years. So once you've decided to go and you've planned on your timeline, you need to meet with your program advisor, and this is when you have your course proposal signed off. And why I mentioned that this could delay your graduation, I'll use an example of when I came home from being abroad. I arrived back in Canada in about June. My transcript from my host school was sent to TRU in July, and TRU had officially transferred my credits by October. So there was quite a few months in between there. So if you are on a tight schedule with your graduation, I suggest going in your 2nd or 3rd year.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the financial planning. How much does it cost? So it is designed to cost the same as if you were to live in Kamloops for a semester. It is important to note that if you are in student loans or band funding or any other source of continuing funding, this does continue while you're abroad, but you must make sure that you're communicating with the proper offices and letting them know that you will be studying abroad and that potentially your semester dates may be changing. There are also TRU supports, so there's scholarships, bursaries, and a global funding blog, just to name a few, and you are able to apply for the regular scholarships that you may normally apply for through My TRU. It's also kind of cool to mention that you are dual registered once you are a study abroad student. So you are officially a student at the host university and TRU. So this means that you can also apply for supports through the host university. I was lucky enough to get a scholarship when I studied abroad just for being an international science student. So there are lots of opportunities for funding out there. I like to say that the more effort you're willing to put in, the more you'll get out of it. There are a few additional fees when you study abroad. As you can imagine, you're probably going to have to buy a flight, maybe get some insurance and a student visa. So these are additional fees, and to help accommodate for that, if you go through the application process and do all of the steps correctly, TRU does supply a $1,000 mobility award. This is meant to offset some of those additional fees that you wouldn't be paying if you were to stay in Kamloops for the semester. So studying abroad is an amazing experience, but it comes with its own new experience, and you also may be wondering, how do I do this, and is there help? Of course there's help. We're here to help you all the way through. So when you're applying to study abroad and you're officially accepted as a study abroad student, you're added to a Moodle page. This is for central communication before, during, and after you come back. And it helps provide student updates, and it's a great place to connect with people who are going through the same thing that you are. And before you leave, there is a mandatory risk management seminar. In this seminar, we go over student responsibilities, personal safety, legal, medical, and intercultural understanding. These are things that are crucial to your success while you're abroad and after you return.
So we've spoken a lot about your application. So you might be wondering, how do I get to the application process? And these are your next steps. First, you want to be researching your universities and the courses. As Taylor and I have been speaking about throughout this presentation, this is when you want to go to those international web pages, browse through the courses, and consider the credit transfers. Next, consult with your program advisor. This is when you want to take in your course proposals and make sure that everything is going to line up and work with your program.
And last, you will take the survey at the end of this video, which will give the Study Abroad office your contact information. The Study Abroad office will then be in touch with you once they are ready to support your application for winter 2022 or beyond.
Okay, so these are all of the elements that are included in your application. So first, and maybe most importantly, you do have to choose between ISEP and bilateral. You can only do an application for one at a time. You will need an academic reference. You only need one, but it is important to mention that these could take some time, and it is important to be respectful and cognizant of the professor's time while you're asking, so make sure you ask them well in advance. You will need an official transcript. Please don't pay for this. If you can request your transcript by email to transcripts@tru.ca and ask for it to be sent to the TRU Study Abroad office. You will also have to write a one-page personal statement on why you would like to study abroad. You're here sitting through this online webinar, so I know that there are reasons why you personally want to study abroad. This is a great place for you to put that to paper. You'll need that course request list, which we previously mentioned. And if you would like to take classes in another language, you will need a language proficiency. And finally, you'll need a hard copy of your passport printed out and brought to the Study Abroad office. It's really important to note that your passport must be valid for up to 6 months after you return. So this may be the first item on your to-do list, is to make sure that your passport is valid and perhaps get that renewed if you need to.
Once the Study Abroad office is ready to support your application, you will be contacted to book an informal interview.
And I just wanted to add that you don't have to be nervous about this interview. It is informal, it's pretty casual, and during it, we're just confirming your GPA, making sure that you're eligible and it's great to go with your program. And then this is when you get access to your online application and your approval to move forward for the next steps. Once again, here are the links to all of our social medias. So our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our tru.ca/studyabroad webpage.
We now ask that you fill out this short survey monkey to confirm your attendance for parts 1, 2, and 3 of the Study Abroad information sessions. Good luck!